We've got a good one on tap today, and there's going to be two quarterbacks ready to get it done on the gridiron. It's the Browns going up against the Chiefs. So, for the call of this Week 11 matchup, let's hand it over to our commentary team, Raymond Godden and Charles Davis.
Larry, as always, it is a frenzied atmosphere inside Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City. Accelerating, and off he goes between the Cleveland Browns and all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Tyreek Hill, 92 yards, and the Chiefs are going to take a first-quarter lead. So a heck of a start to this one. We haven't even gotten settled in already in the end zone on the opening kickoff.
And you know what happens, too? Now you got to translate what that means, because I think for the team that just scored, their defense, I think they'll be more aggressive now. They'll be bolder. They're playing with a lead and an early one and some momentum. So if you're the offensive coordinator on the other side of the field, you'd better be prepared for some heavy pressure coming your way. They're going to try and get another big score and a big one early.
So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Ground. This is Isaiah Crowell. And he's got some space here. Isaiah Crowell, he's all alone. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Isaiah Crowell with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Browns are within an extra point of tying this thing up. Now the extra point. It's good, and we're all tied at 7 apiece. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. Tyreek Hill on the return. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. They go play action here on first down. Finding time. He's got a man. Complete. 23 yards on the play. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you probably have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there. And here's a look at the starting offense. Second down, 8. Mallet now. Caught. Kelsey, left side. That catch good for 5. It's third down. And here's the starting crew defensively for Cleveland.
You have to love Jamie Collins. You can use him just about anywhere on the defense. Inside linebacker, outside linebacker, defensive end. He might even play a little bit of safety if you give him the chance.
Well, still in search of the first down after that last completion.
And on 3rd and 3, they decided to go with a dime package.
Yeah.
6 DBs.
Yeah, you're right. They've got 6 out there. And that is incomplete. Demetrius Harris, the intended target. And it's now 4th and 3. Now Blair Walsh on for a long field goal. He's hit from as far away as 56 in his young career. This will be from 56 yards out. And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. So a good kick there, and they wrap up the drive by putting 3 on the board.
And you know, let's face it, you're not always going to come away with 6. Defense in the NFL are just too good. But you've got to come away with something. And there, they get 3.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. And they hit the home run last drive. 1 play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
And a gadget package there won't do much for him. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. And the offense there, the O-line, everybody really on offense, they were just manhandled at the point of attack.
Yeah, you could pretty much call them all out, couldn't you? And almost by name, right? That was a very tough sequence for the offensive line. But how about that defensive front creating a new line of scrimmage and creating a lost yardage possibility?
5 wides in the game, 4 of them to the right side. They'll set up to throw. That's complete. It's Gordon. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
But that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
1st down and 10 now for the offensive group.
Here we go now. Detroit! Detroit! Watch it now, Barney!
They'll look to throw here. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 2nd and very short.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
2nd down now after the pass completion. This is Crowell. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the 1st down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the 1st down. That's exactly what they did.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Gets it to Gordon. The 20. And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Josh Gordon, his 4th touchdown on the year. And once again, the Browns are back in front. And that makes it 14-10. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. This one taken just inside the 10. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And now here comes Kansas City. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays. And you don't get many opportunities to dial them up, and they just did, and they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves him with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
Here's Mallett. And this is going to be incomplete. Chris Conley, the intended receiver. And it's 4th down. Dustin Colquitt on to punt. We'll likely see brother Britton on the other side get a chance later. He'll send this one into the Midwestern air, and it's a good one. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. And now the Browns coming out on the field. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive. The wide receivers, often a very, very talented group, and that's the case here.
And they don't mind showcasing it either. Those guys love to be flashy, love to make big plays out in the open field. They will attempt to do so in this game.
So we've got a 2nd and 5. They'll set up a throw. A screen complete to Crowell. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. A good job defensively to hold that to 4 yards, and now it's 3rd down. And a glance now at the Chiefs' defense.
Marcus Peters is a former first-round pick who has great anticipation and tremendous ball skills.
And they only need a little bit here. 3rd down and very short. They come up in an offset eye. They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1. And he will find his man on the outside. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40.
Coaches really don't care from what position they get this, but run after the catch ability, rack ability, is often the difference between winning and losing and changing field position.
All right, here we go.
A 1st down carry now for Crowell. And he'll be stopped up quickly here at the 38. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
2nd down following the run. They'll come up now in the Wildcat package.
Here we go. 38.
Foster on 2nd down. And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35. A couple of Chiefs there to bring him down. Back with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Browns with a football to begin quarter number 2. They're on the march, but facing a 3rd down here. Now back to throw. And he finds Barnidge. He's got it. And eventually brought down, but not before an effective use of the hurdle there allows him to pick up the 1st. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd. They'll drop to throw. That's complete. It's Gordon. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. They'll wind up getting 10 back there as it'll leave them with a 3rd and 5.
3rd and 5, so they bring in an extra defensive back.
Expecting pass. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. So now the Browns will turn it over to their field goal unit here. It'll be from the right hash, and it'll be a 36-yarder.
After all the preparation, all the practice, a play like that will absolutely break your heart. They had everything they wanted, just unable to complete it. In the end zone, a big-time drop.
So in the end, they had the ball for 10 plays, but the drive only yields 3 points.
Yeah, they were able to move the football, but the defense stiffened once their backs were to the end zone, and they were able to hold them to just 3.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now the Chiefs offense, they get ready to head on the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Now let's go. Green. Over. Watch it now, Barney. Here we go now.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he powers his way up past the 30. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
All right, here we go.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. They'll give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
You don't have to be a finished product to show some pretty good glimpses of what could be in this league, and we just saw an example of it on that nice run there. When I looked at him coming out of college, I saw a guy with raw, terrific ability. I couldn't wait to see how it was going to be harnessed and polished up in the NFL. In fact, some people thought he could play a little slot receiver as well as run the football. This guy has the ability to be a big-time player with more seasoning.
A handoff as they run the counter play. And he'll bring this one inside the 35. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
Mallet now. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down. Now, that screen there on 2nd down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there, because trying is one thing. We can second-guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize that it's broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air, and you come back and try and pick up the 1st down on 3rd down. That way you don't lose any yardage.
So there on that play, offensively, they ran the crossing route. Defense was in zone coverage. So as a former DB, how tough is it to defend that?
It's really difficult because your natural inclination is to chase the receiver and maybe leave your zone. So you have to have discipline in order to talk to your other coverage guys and let him know that that receiver's crossing from your zone to the next zone. He's coming your way. Make sure you have him. And then when the ball is actually thrown, secure the tackle. When they're moving on crossing routes, if you miss a tackle, it usually results in a big play.
Here we go now.
They'll set up to throw. And a hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
So much of this game is focus and concentration. And whenever I see guys running the in route, I know that in the back of their mind, they're always wondering who's lurking inside that might put a big hit on them as they try and catch the ball.
9th play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long. They'll come out in the pistol.
Gun! No. Check. Patriot!
Halfback sent in motion.
Gun!
Out of the gun now on third down. And this is caught. Jeremy Maclin. And he's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it. Now the confidence is starting to rise. I think now's a play caller because...
And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Chris Conley, his second touchdown on the season. And the Chiefs are an extra point away from tying up this football game. And he gets it to go, and we're all even, 17 apiece. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. A minute 59 to go in the first half. We're back to Arrowhead after this. They go play action here on first down. And he finds his target, Terrence Williams. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
That one good for 10 yards, and that'll make it second and a foot or so.
Really tough drive, but that run help salvage something there, because now there's something positive that came out of it. They got to see good blocking, good push by the offensive line, wide receivers trying to get involved, a good run by the back, and now maybe it'll be a catalyst for them to look at going forward, watching it on tape. Maybe they can keep incorporating that type of a run into their offense.
Back to throw. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. Josh Gordon with his second touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Browns have moved out in front.
Boy, that route is really tough to cover, because if they're running it correctly, you think it's really going to be a slant.
Yeah, well, we talk all the time about how it's tough to execute offensively, but you're saying, don't forget, it's tough to cover for the defense, too.
Yeah, the number one thing that you're taught is to not get caught inside or get beat inside. So you guard that a little bit more. So that gives you a little bit more space to operate outside if you start your move initially inside if you're a receiver.
The Chiefs offense now making their way back onto the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that, they had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing, because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 5 yards on the pickup, and just like that, it's third down. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. Here's Mallet. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. So here we go, 1st and 10 now. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side.
Detroit!
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Surveying the field. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Give him 18 on that one. And it'll give the Chiefs a first down. And now they're in the hurry-up. A lot of time in the pocket there, and the quarterback able to find an open. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. The fumble, but they're able to maintain possession. Now it's second down.
Set!
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And this is complete on the comebacker. It's Macklin. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. He hit his first. Now this from 43. And that is not going to get there. Oh, he missed it short. It's no good. So the long field goal attempt winds up awry, and we have reached the intermission. As we send you down to our EA Sports Studios in Orlando, where we find our man Larry Ridley with our halftime report. This one taken from the 7. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that.
I know that play went to the left side, and that's what it was designed to do, an outside handoff there. But how about the whole offensive line being involved? Seal the left side where the play was going, what they call play side. But how about on the back side? Just taking care of business to make sure no one can get there and disrupt it.
Is the biggest key the left tackle?
Without a doubt. Control that edge. Get out there. You want that left tackle. If you bring your tight end over there, either way, control the edge of the line of scrimmage, you got a chance to rumble.
And he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
Second down now after the sack. Back to throw here. And that is incomplete. Josh Gordon, the intended receiver. And that'll make it third down.
I guess they figure with a guy who is that hot downfield, who knows how to get the ball into the end zone, you throw it up and give him every opportunity, even though that one fell incomplete.
Yeah, he's already been in the end zone multiple times. Tried to target him again deep there, but unsuccessful. Incomplete pass on second down. Let's see what the offense draws up here on third. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Got a man. It's complete. Williams. It's a gain of 17, and it'll give them a first down.
And fit's the exact right word. Over the middle, there's almost always traffic, so anytime you're a receiver in that area, you're not just focused on catching the football. You're wondering where the collision's going to come from, right? Because there's almost always someone there able to concentrate, catch it, and even added a little extra at the end with a short run.
Five wides in the game, 4 of them to the right side. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And the connection made to Terrell Pryor. That one good for 14 yards. And it'll be second and about a yard to go for the first. Second down, they need less than a yard to pick up the first. And the slot man goes in motion left. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of 2, now third down. They're going to hurry back to the line now.
Well, in that play, the expression, don't blink, you might miss something, certainly applied. That was fast. Defense diagnosed the play, and it was over in a heartbeat.
They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. He dropped it. Couldn't hang on in the end zone. So no 6 points, incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
And that is no good. And this score will stay right where it is. So it's an empty possession, and as a kicker, not the way you want to start your day's work.
And now each team's missed a field goal here so far, Brandon, so apparently neither guy is immune.
Now let's go.
They go play action here on first down. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. His favorite target, Travis Kelce, the intended receiver. And now it's second down.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he sensed being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. Now Conley's got it over the middle. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through.
And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. Tyreek Hill with his second touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Chiefs are an extra point away from tying up this football game. And his kick is right through. So all square here in this third quarter as the kick's away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And now the Browns offense trots back onto the field. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. Well, let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
First down carry for Foster. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Brad, wasn't that long ago that the guy playing that spot was an outside linebacker type of a guy. Now, as a defensive end, how about the speed that he used to get into the backfield and make the play?
So now 11 yards to go for this offensive unit. It's second down. He'll look to throw. He's got a man. It's Corey Coleman. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40.
So how do you beat man coverage? First of all, you want to be a superior receiver, but you know something, that guy who's covering you, he's usually pretty good too. So the corner route is usually a great spot to get it done.
So the offense has it 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. And the offense moving quickly to the line. Back to throw now. Looking for Barnage, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. And now here comes Kansas City. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Here's Mallet, and he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
When it's well executed, a wide receiver screen can often be a thing of beauty, but so many things have to go right in order to complete it. Blocking out in front, timing of the quarterback with the receiver, and oftentimes everything gets set, and guess what? They drop the football.
And this will be out of bounds. Now it's a question of where they'll mark it. And they'll say it crosses at the 11-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. Looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover?
The memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball on offense, had a nice sequence going. Don't worry about the other part. You can't get that back. Let's go back to what you were doing well before.
I thought you were going to say they need to have no memory, but remember the good part, forget the bad.
I like that even better.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is going to lose yardage here. We're back now in KC. All even as we get ready to start the 4th. Second down and a little ways to go here. 2nd and 13. Now back to throw. And he rifles one incomplete. Isaiah Crowell, the intended target. And now it's 3rd down.
Everything about that play tells you about today's NFL offenses and what they're asking out of running backs. You can't just be a guy who can run the football. You have to be able to catch it as well, and he didn't get that done on that play.
Well, they've gone backwards so far in this series, 3rd and 13.
Let's go!
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Devon House. So how about that for a momentum switch?
We're in the 4th quarter, and it's a tie game. You've got to take care of the football here. Now their opportunity to take the lead right out the window, and everything is flipped in the other direction.
And they'll start this drive with very good field position.
Hurry up, here we go!
Mallet now. And this is going to be intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. In motion right comes Gordon. They begin with a run by Crowell. And he will forge his way forward only up to the 2-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
To throw now in his own end zone. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
and he still doesn't have a catch. We're into the second half. I think it's a little bit of a surprise to me, but that was one he should have caught.
Absolutely. That was his best opportunity right there. He dropped it. Still 9 yards to go on third down. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. On third down, he'll drop to throw. And that is incomplete. He was looking for Terrence Williams that time. Now fourth down. And you really can't pin that one on the quarterback, Charles. The O-line, they've got to protect better.
And they know it. That's their meal ticket. They want to take care of the big guy behind them. In this case, they let him down.
And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. Here's Thomas. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that. I think that not only did he say that, but he also told him, let's put it in the end zone that it's supposed to be in, all right? The end zone we're trying to score. I know we're being a little bit facetious here, but the bottom line is take care of the football, and everything else should flow from there.
Quick lesson, never ask the play-by-play guy a question.
Hey, you're my partner. I know you're right there with me.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And this is going to be intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line. And the Browns offense back out there ready to take over. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. They'll come out in the pistol.
Here we go.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And this is going to be intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line. And now here comes Kansas City. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Not a big run on the first play of the drive, but that doesn't necessarily mean it was a bad play. Sometimes you're just trying to settle in, get your guys a little bit of contact, and get things moving.
Here we go now. Green 39.
And the back goes into motion. from the shotgun. He'll look to throw. His throw incomplete. And that right there will set him back a bit on the offensive holding penalty.
And you know who you want to pressure after a penalty like that? The guy who just committed the foul. You want to see if he's going to keep his head down or if he's going to get his head right back into the game. I'd send a blitz at him right away and see if he holds up.
5 wides in the game, 4 of them to the right side. They'll drop the throw. And this is going to be intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, and what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first level run, and it was stopped by a second level player.
And the offense can string something together, but they'll need to do it quickly here to try to get points on the board and win this game. Time for a break. We'll come back and see how it all shakes out after this. Six yards here to go for the offense on second down.
Let's go! Blue landed! Blue landed!
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
The good signal callers would never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion.
And they'll need the 39 here for a first. This is third down. Again, we'll see the pistol here.
Here we go now!
Back to throw. And he finds Barnage. He's got it. It's a gain of 20 and picking up the first.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him.
Here we go. 3-19! 3-19!
They go play action here on first down. And Barnage has it on the right side. Now here's a defensive timeout called by the Chiefs. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Fresh set of downs here.
Here we go.
And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. And the Chiefs are going to signal for and be granted another timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this fourth quarter of play. They come up in an offset eye. Look, oh no, he lost the football. And it's picked up. He's got daylight. The 40, 30. And in for the score. Are you kidding me? They return it, and they take the lead. So many times, tight games decided by one big play. A lot of times, of course, it's the offense. Here, it's the defense coming up huge.
And you know head coaches walk around locker rooms, walk around bench areas saying, guys, somebody make a play. It's a cliche, but it applies here.
And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This one taken just inside the 10. And out of bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And here are the Browns now as the offense comes back out onto the field. They're down here in a one-score game. But the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late-game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
They have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. They'll look to throw. Gets it to Gordon. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Now, whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels.
No, Jack, Patrick! Here we go, Patrick! Green! Over!
Back to throw. And this one brought in by Barnage. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. He's back to throw. Man open left side. It's Williams. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 15 yards through the air and a first down.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. 5 wides in the game, 4 of them to the right side. In motion, the tight end Barnage. He'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. 1 receiver left, 2 to the right. Back to throw. Coleman has it here right side. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. 18 yards there, and it'll be a 1st and goal. Well, Charles, they were close in the end, but they couldn't get that last play, that last little miracle play done. They were within striking distance, but couldn't find a way to score.
They definitely had hope. They definitely had opportunity. Just unable to cash in at the end. Not an easy play by any stretch, but they definitely had a chance.
So for the Chiefs, it's a win they needed, if for nothing else than their sanity, as they move to 4-6. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Indianapolis Colts. Meanwhile, for Cleveland, it's a loss that'll drop them back to 500 through 10 games. And they'll be at home next week for a date with the Houston Texans. So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. The Chiefs victorious here as we say so long from Arrowhead.